Hey everybody, BeyondDrewTV here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to our big tour video here of the Europe Pack Mini Zoo. So yeah, this is tour number 2 of 2, the last one there. If you would like to see a kind of shorter, more condensed cinematic tour of this project here, there is that out as well. But this is going to be kind of our more in-depth, kind of going slowly throughout the project and the zoo and everything, and just kind of breaking it all down and taking a look at everything. So yeah, without further ado there, let's go ahead and go on into it here. So here we are at the entrance area, and this is kind of what kicked off this entire build. Was a photo I found of basically something very, very similar here in the region of Bavaria in Germany. So yeah, love this. Just I don't know, like I said, just kind of old German kind of architecture here with all the amazing colors and you know, boards crisscrossing. Just I love how it looks here. So this is really the big kind of theme for the front half of our little project. And like I said, kind of what kicked off a whole this entire kind of project and everything. So yeah, when I heard Planet Zoo is coming out with a Europe pack long ago, this is not for the Eurasia pack, this is the Europe pack that long ago. Yeah, this is, I kind of went looking around on Google Images, and this is a image that I found on there. So really like how that is our again kind of entrance area and everything. So, and as you come in, we do have, speaking of the new Eurasia pack, I did have this canal built here, or this little river system and everything, and thought that would be a perfect spot to have a whole bunch of new mute swans here. So yeah, we have a lot of them going up and down this little side river system. Just happened to work out that way. Again, I had no idea that we were getting any of these in the game or anything like that, and just when they announced it, I was like, oh my gosh, hey, that works out, because yeah, this river system that we're following here, they look, we have some little chickies there, some little babes. Yeah, this whole river system really goes throughout the entire project, so it was really neat to be able to just kind of naturally get these guys, get them into the zoo and everything without having to really alter anything or really build a habitat or anything, right? So yeah, really cool to get them in and get some of their enrichment items and everything in. So let's get a little close-up of them on the backdrop of our little Bavarian town in the backdrop area. There's a little baby there. So speaking of, let's go ahead and continue the tour. Go up to our front entrance area, or just past it here, where we have our entrance gates, kind of giving me a little bit of a Hagrid's hut from Harry Potter kind of vibe. I think that was literally my vibe I was going for when I was building all of this. Trying to remember back, yeah, a lot of this build came from over a year ago, or if not more than that, over a year and a half ago. So trying to remember the influence and everything of it is kind of fun for me as well here. So, and then just beyond it here, we have an amazing blueprint. Got this off the workshop. I believe it's typed in either old church or just church or something like that. And this was one of the first ones that popped up. So this is a great focal center point here for our little plaza before you kind of get into the rest of the zoo and everything. So kind of had intentions, and who knows, we might do this in the future, but kind of had intentions of either putting a restaurant or a gift shop with a new souvenir shop in here. However, when the Eurasia pack first came out, those souvenir shops, they were kind of they're kind of bugged out there a little bit, so I couldn't really do the full idea that I wanted to in here, and kind of started to finish up the project by the time that they had gotten worked out. But if there's any future expansions on the zoo, that would be the one. That would be the one to put I think a great souvenir shop right in the beginning there. And speaking of that, right next to this church here, we also have, you'll see a tour sticker here, kind of just messing around with that. Have a little bit of a tour that goes halfway around the zoo, but this is a huge zoo, so even that little small tour gets guests really tired. And yeah, it was kind of fun to mess around with the tour guide thing, but that was more of a testing thing that I just kind of left in the zoo. But so anyways, yeah, as we're going around here, here's your big reveal to kind of your take on a main street, I guess a Bavarian main street, right? So like I said, still sticking with that original theme that you see out in the front area, and just kind of going full force with it, trying to do a full-on little town feature here and everything. So some of the big takeaways here, we have our big beer garden. So there's a nice little restaurant in there, one of the in-game restaurants. Didn't do the interior, didn't want to kind of take up more piece count than I already do on the outside of the zoo for the most part. So, but yeah, the exterior I think turned out really nicely. And then right next to it is a really new build. Wanted to try and get this out for the Christmas holiday, but I kind of missed out on that. But yeah, this is our little Christmas shop. It's kind of your year-round Christmas shop and everything. So yeah, had fun kind of adding that in, using a lot of the Arctic's DLC set pieces there. Don't get to use a lot of the more holiday themed ones that much in their actual what they're supposed to be used for. So it was really cool to build up this little Christmas side building there and everything. So, but yeah, here's a big old look out here of the main street area, at least the top half. There are two halves to this. So this is the top half of the little village here. So yeah, again, really like all the colors and how everything turned out, and all the little accessories here, like these little, I can't remember what these are exactly called, but I know I've seen them outside beer gardens before, and at Oktoberfest and stuff like that, these big tent poles there. So yeah, really like how those came out. And then also you kind of have this castle piece right here. That's what I noticed with a lot of these older, either German, or also looked into like British and a lot of just older European villages and towns and stuff like that. And there's a big separation between, it looks like the old town and kind of the newer town, and a lot of it comes with these castle pieces that have just been kind of integrated, it looks like, into the town, because why wouldn't you? It's a friggin' castle, of course integrate it. It's really cool how they kind of mix the old town with the new town and have a lot of these old castle pieces and everything. So but yeah, let's go ahead and, like I was mentioning earlier, head down here. We have a nice elevation change as we come down to the lower part in the back side of the main street town, and landscaping and terrain and elevation is going to be a big part of this tour and this whole project here, trying to make that a big staple here. So but yeah, as we kind of get more into the back area, you see we get away from those brighter colors and starts to turn into more of a just straight up alleyway, or just your kind of back away from all the big culture areas or all the big tourist areas and everything. So it doesn't need to be done up as much. So kind of have your grit and your grind. You could tell this is when we got our decal pieces during this build here. I went over the top with the decal grunge, being like, oh, I like that one. That one looks cool. Oh, let's try this piece here. So this is very much so, yeah, whenever those pieces came out, went ahead and built with all of those there. So, but yeah, as we get out of here, we get this really cool reveal here with our, so we have a little skunk habitat on the right hand side. We have two skunks in there with a nice indoor viewing area and everything. There you go, we got some guests coming in there. And then yeah, we have these really amazing European buildings back here that I didn't build these as well. Found these on the workshop and just thought they fit in so well as kind of these as we're getting out of the main village that we were just in with all the bright colored houses and stuff like that. These are kind of, you're getting out of the village into the countryside. So really like how those kind of look there. So, but anyways, let's real quick, I almost forgot actually. We have another habitat on the more backside of these buildings over here. We have our European badgers. So here's the European badger habitat. Let's see if any of them are out right now. A lot of times you'll find them in their little tunnel area there. So but yeah, this is just kind of a not really a set theme or anything. Found a few tractor pieces on the workshop and just kind of random pieces here. But yeah, just had this little backside area and put in a family of badgers and everything. So let's go ahead and I think they're all sleeping right now. Let's head underground. And there's their big bucket. Yeah, there they are. Yep, see, they're all taking a little nap. Let's listen. I think we can hear them snoring. Yeah, they are snoring. All right, we'll leave our badgers alone. Let them get all the beauty rest that they can get, right? So we'll go actually next door to what I mentioned earlier, these skunks. And there's one skunk there hanging out, kind of doing a little floating business. This is our David Blaine skunk. He's been doing this trick ever since we got them. So, yep, say hello to David Blaine. And I think there is one more. I do think we have a tunnel as well. Yep, we do. So let's go down here and see if the other one is down in our little tunnel area. No, yes, they are. They are taking a little nap as well. So yep, there we go. We have our two skunk pair there. All right. So as we come on out here, let's go ahead and yeah, we will go up this way around the path. I did not plan this ahead at all. We were just naturally kind of flowing our way through the zoo, I guess you'd say. So here's a close-up more look of these amazing builds here. again, that I got off the workshop. Just kind of gussied up the areas to kind of make it look like a outskirt town and everything like that. So yeah, really enjoy how this came out. Put 2 quick service restaurants inside. They're trying to keep kind of like franchise or challenge mode in mind, because I do think it would be cool to go back later on and maybe try this project as a challenge zoo, because I do think it would kind of work out a little bit, and it would be kind of interesting to see if it would. So maybe that's something we'll do as a final thing for the Europack Mini Zoo, is try and do a big, try and work it out and actually using the zoo. So, but yeah, here's just a little overview area of where we have been. There's the bridge, the skunk, the European badger back there. So just a little catch you up here, see where we're at. And tell you what, we're actually going to back it up a little bit, and we will start back over here by the church, and we'll go from oldest stuff to newest stuff. We have kind of a natural, almost like clockwise progression here. So if we go to the backside of the church here, you can see some more swans over here. Kind of gives you an idea of how much this river system kind of wraps around. So it's really cool. You get to see the swans all over this little area as you're kind of just walking around. So, but as we go over here, yeah, we'll follow our tour guide. Hey, we were talking about them earlier, weren't we? We'll follow our tour guide here to the Ibex, habitat, which this was the very first habitat for this project way back when. This has gone under about 2 or 3, I think it's 3 now, iterations of this habitat, just because of all the new things that we've gotten since then. You can see some of the new foliage, some of the new grasses. They're not so new now, but when I got into the zoo, they were very new. But anyways, yeah, so this went under a few different iterations, and I really like how this ended up turning out. And I don't see any... Oh, here they are. I was about to say, where the heck are they? I did give them a little bit of a privacy area in the back corner, I noticed over here. So a lot of times you will find them kind of hanging out back. Yeah, there he is. There's our big male. He kind of gets out of the viewing of the guests every once in a while. So that might be one thing to improve on this habitat, which is kind of fun when you go back and look at your stuff from the past, some older stuff, is I might close this in a little bit more so that they don't have all those areas to kind of get tucked away. But yeah, and also I love these, what are they, the goat climbing mountain. Love how those look whenever they get up there to do, strike their pose and everything like that. So yeah, here's the Alpine Ibex habitat, and here's the viewing area for it. Really like how this turned out. Yeah, oh, look at our guests. They're clapping for our tour guide. Must have done a really good job. We have the best tour guides. The best. But let's go ahead and we will move on through. We're actually just still following the tour guide here. But we're going to go to our next habitat over this little bridge over our river system, where we can see another glimpse of the swans hanging out. There they are. But yeah, let's go this way. And like I said, landscape and terrain changes are a big thing for this project. I really wanted to challenge myself with the landscape terrain changes. And yeah, this is a big result of that. Here is our timber wolf habitat. Ginormous timber wolf habitat, I might add. So yeah, went ahead and I really wanted to get we were talking about castles earlier, wanted to expand on that and go ahead and get a ruined castle in there. There's one of our timber wolves right there. We have 2 of them in there, I believe. But yeah, that is the backdrop for our Timberwolf habitat here, is just a ruined kind of castle area. We have our big archway bridge over this way. Yeah, no, I love how this turned out. This was using a lot of the, I think from the Europack. They came out with this European rustic stone wall. And yeah, at the time, that was like my favorite piece. It's still one of my favorite wall pieces to use. The fact that it's all flexi-color and everything, yeah, it's really nice. So, but yeah, no, I really like how this habitat turned out. Went ahead, this one also went through a few iterations. I originally had, I don't think I have any of it left over, but I made up my own kind of grass. This was before we had the buffalo grass and the Yorkshire grass and, all those different grasses we got from the Grasslands pack and all the other ones. But yeah, I kind of made up my own using like drin grass and just a whole bunch of other things, and it was an immense amount of pieces all through here, and in turn it made it where the Timberwolves could not walk anywhere. Basically, they interpreted it as a cluster of plants, basically, that they couldn't walk through. So love the addition of being able to swap those all out for all these buffalo grasses and different in-game grasses and everything that they can kind of walk on. So their habitat is much more appealing for them. And yeah, they can also, as you see here, we have a little platform they can get up here, so it's really cool. to get a shot of them, pew, like right there, especially if they start howling and stuff. It's like, oh, that's picture perfect. So yeah, there's the timberwolf habitat with our two timberwolves. So, and then the backside of the habitat, we're talking about kind of improvements. I do want to keep touching on that a little bit. I do like this backside, and we do have a lot of guest viewing for it, but it is a little bit, I think, too lush with the foliage. You can't really see heck darn anything right inside here, so that it might be a little bit too big. That was my thing. It still is my thing normally, but I go too big with the habitats a lot of times, right? So I'm always thinking like too grand, too big, or whatever. But so that might be the thing, is kind of scoot this in just a little bit and focus the sights and everything just to this immediate area there. So, but if we go ahead and turn right around, this isn't really the guest viewing area for them, but this is the staff area. But this is the area for our North American beavers, because what doesn't scream European pack like North American beavers? Yeah, this was a direct result of, for those of you who don't know, I took about a year and a half break from making content and playing Planet Zoo kind of all together. So when I came back to Planet Zoo a little recently, yeah, basically I just had a whole smorgasbord of new animals and, you know, DLC packs and just a whole bunch of things to kind of sift through. And as I was going over here, you know, we have this, the waterfall was already kind of set up in place. And we had this big basin right here, this big kind of reservoir area. And I was like, oh, you know what would be cool? Beavers, because yeah. So yeah, no, went ahead and just I knew that we had the beavers, the North American beavers in here, so went ahead and set up a little habitat for them. I think it fits in pretty well. Don't know how realistic it would be to have beavers right at the base of a waterfall. I don't think that's the prime location for them to set up, but still, you know, again, we had this little area right here, and it was just going to be plants and foliage, just a little river system. So I was like, ah, heck it, let's go ahead and fill it in there. So yeah, no, really like how this turned out, and love seeing the little beavers, kind of our 3 angry beavers, yeah, swimming around and everything. So we have our male and female here. Not sure which one this is, but they both kind of look the same. And then there's a baby that kind of swims around every once in a while. But the baby's really hard to find. It's very small, very small. So it is normally hiding out. Oh, there it is right there. It's swimming. Nice. So there's our little baby North American beaver. What's up, buddy? What's that there, buddy? And then, yeah, speaking of the waterfall and everything and peak of realism, thankfully right now, none of our swans have gone over the edge of the waterfall. Basically, I stopped their knoll barrier right about here-ish so that they don't ever, like, get kind of close to it. But I always thought that was funny that, yeah, you have this giant waterfall right here, just the swans going like, meh, I could not be bothered. So yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and move forward. I kind of just glossed over this whole bridge thing. We'll get there in just a second, don't you worry. Let's go back over this way. Back to the castle ruins, and we'll go, this is another up-down kind of situation, kind of like our main street area, where we can go up this way, or we can actually keep going straight here, and there's actually a little turn right here that goes underneath of our bridge section there, because this actually leads to another habitat area. So yeah, as we come out here, again, get really cool views because of all that elevation change and rock work especially. We'll talk about rock work in just a minute, but yeah, hey, we're caught back up with the tour guide. But yeah, this leads you to this really cool overlook for, what is it again? Sloth bears, that's right. Yeah, we have our sloth bears hanging out over here somewhere. There's a family of 4, I believe it is. 2 cubs and 2 parents. So kind of going off of that rustic kind of, or excuse me, not rustic, the castle vibe, the torn down castle or old castle vibe. Here's just some more kind of remnants of the castle in the waterway, and just kind of throughout their habitat. Maybe this was an old like town or village that was, you know, just down from the castle and everything. So yeah, I just really like doing all that, you know, kind of old abandoned kind of vibe there. But I did see one of our sloth bears run across here. Let's see which one it is. I think this is one of the parents. Yep, yeah, definitely there, hanging out with the, was that the prey sack hanging out there? Nice. Kind of clipping through, but that's all right. They still look good. The other ones are taking a nap. Oh, there's one of the cubs. There's one of the cubs hanging out. He's like, Mom, Dad, wake up. Whoa. Yeah, and then somewhere around here they have a brother or a sister as well. So yeah, they have a bunch of room to hang out in. This was actually, prior, this was a different animal's habitat. And for the life of me, I can't remember it, because it was a modded animal. But when I did come back to Planet Zoo, I just kept the 2 necessary mods for this project to play. Other than that, I got rid of all the other ones just to kind of start square one. But yeah, I can't for the life of me remember what was in here. But the Sloth Bears came out with the Eurasia pack. I was like, oh heck, that fits in pretty perfectly. So yeah, speaking of mods, probably should have mentioned this way at the beginning, but this is going to be all over the description and title and everything. Yes, you do need 2 mods to play this pack, which is the Planet Zoo Midnight pack and the Frontier pack from Nicholas Lionrider. So those are the 2 mod packs that you do need. When I first got back into this project after the big break, I did try and eliminate all of those pieces, but I had already kind of covered the zoo, especially with these leaf pieces. This is one of my favorite pieces from the Frontier pack, is this fallen leaf litter, which we do have a lot of that in game now, but this one is fully recolorable, which kind of puts it a step above a lot of the leaf litter that we have kind of in game. So, but nevertheless, yeah, you do have to have those 2 mods, and I will have them linked down below to play on this map. So next up, and the last little thing over in this area, just have a little eatery. Just again, kind of playing around with some of the. I think this is one of the mod pieces right here. Yeah, there's a stained Gothic window in that mod pack, the European Midnight pack, and it's really cool looking, as you can see here. And it's fully customizable as far as FlexiColor goes. So I think in here is just some quick service little areas. Yep, just some quick service. So there you go, just a little stop off point for our guests. So we'll go, let it load, there we go. Yeah, one last look out this way before we get going, just to get these really cool views again, because of all the different landscape views and all the different valleys and mountains and all that kind of fun stuff that we do. So let's go ahead and go back this way underneath the pathway, and we will walk up that path that we just walked underneath. So as we go back this way again, really like the ruined castle look. Like this one here likes it look like it all just kind of crumbled down and everything's. Yeah, I love playing with stuff like that. I think it's really cool. So and as we're going under the little bridge area here, gonna get some really cool views of either the Timberwolf habitat from up above here, and you get the really close to the castle ruin as well, as we kind of wind our way up the pathway and over to that bridge that I was talking about earlier. So yeah, this big bridge here, because we are at basically, what is this, the not the highest, yeah, this is the highest point in the zoo right here. So yeah, just kind of, I think I typed in European bridge or popular bridges Europe, and there was like a few lists, and saw this one. Can't remember for the life of me where it's from, but yeah, just went ahead and recreated that, and really like how this turned out. Really, it's just a great focal point, along with the castle in the background for this kind of whole area there. So yeah, again, really like how that turned out. So but yeah, as we cross the bridge, if you go to the left, that'll meet back up with the Ibexes and kind of the main village area over there, and you get some other great views of the beavers and the swans. But we're going to go ahead and go over this way and take a right. Come to a 4-way intersection here. If we go to the left, that is where the little town was, so we're right back that way. If we go straight, that is a really dense forest area, which we will get to in just a little bit. That'll actually be the last area that we take a look at. But let's go to the right here, and this goes down the hillside again, and you start to see the next habitat here, which are the, is this the fallow? Yes, European fallow deer. So this is one of 2 deer species in the project here in the zoo. And yeah, they get a nice big habitat right next to the river system, and this really vast kind of almost open grassland area a little bit here. So yeah, no, really how this turned out. I think we have about 5 or 6 of them, 1 male and the rest female. And they love to follow him around. Wherever the male is, the females are following, basically. So yep, there are our fallow deer. And let's go ahead and come on down here. So that right there, everything that we've seen up until now was all the, I guess you'd say, the old zoo, the year and a half ago zoo. Everything that we're going to go from here on out, I did in the last like month or a little bit, or a little more than a month. Basically my return to Planet Zoo and making content creation. That's what all this is from. So right as we go underneath all of these rock formations and rock structures, yep, we are into the new part of the zoo, or the me refreshed basically in building. So this is going to be our huge kind of bay area. So there's, as we kind of start out, let's zoom way out. And yeah, here's a little grand reveal of this huge, huge area. So yeah, like I said, it is a kind of themed after, it started as just a bay area with gray seals. That was the big theme there that I wanted to go off of, and everything else kind of organically kind of came off of that. You're also going to notice a big drop in frames as well. Yeah, the rock formations here, while they look amazing, they they take up a lot of frames and everything, as well as the landscaping here. For those of you that didn't watch the episode on this, there's an entire series on this if you'd like to watch it episode by episode, but all of this landscaping back here, none of this is really actually terrain work. Most of this, if not all of this, are just common yew trees. I used the tops of common yew trees as our grasses, or our kind of our land basically, and then had the other Douglas firs and all the other ones placed on top of them as if that was the land. So these rocks that are placed on these rock formations are just kind of like a barrier for our river system. Then the yew trees are all kind of the top of the land, and then you kind of put your trees down there and you get these really cool kind of just landscapes and everything, right? So yeah, really love how this area turned out, and kind of gave me my new rock formation way. I kind of use this same rock formation in all of my like franchise zoos and different projects coming out, because I think it looks really cool. So but anyways, as we keep going through here, again, we have gray seals for our first little habitat here. They have a nice big habitat, but not too big, and they have enough area to kind of do their deep diving and everything, so works out very nicely. And then as we go over this way into the waterfall little viewing area here, we get the next habitat, which is the Wolverines. We have 2 Wolverines in here, and love doing all the rock work here. A lot of these rocks were from Caesar Creates. They have amazing rock piles and rock walls and stuff like that up on the workshop, so put a lot of those in here. So there's our 1 and 2 Wolverines, and had the where that waterfall comes from is right here. We have this water system through the Wolverine habitat, and kind of had it go right underneath of the pathway right here, out into our bay area. So I love doing like little natural leadaways, or whatever you want to call it, right there. Kind of having everything going in amongst itself. So as we go underneath here, get a good view of the Wolverine sleeping area. Normally there is one hanging out in here because you have a little blood pouch right there that they like to snack on. Then as we turn around here, we have the just a few little houses that kind of keep that Bavarian kind of vibe and everything, but nothing too dense over here. Wanted it to mainly feel very natural and everything over here. But we do have a restaurant inside of this building, and little eating area out this way, and viewing area of the Wolverines that way. And I have 2 implied exhibits. I had some great comments with some great recommendations for birds and other small mammals for these. I ended up leaving them empty just because I don't know, I kind of want to see what if anyone downloads this zoo, to see if anyone would like to insert something in there or build something up, and just kind of leave it empty for you to kind of insert something in there. So there is that. And then yeah, as we turn around here, we have this garden area here, and this is primarily a butterfly and insect garden. So up top here we have our, let's see, I think we have about 12 butterflies, 4 of each kind in the game. You can see them fluttering about here a little bit. But yeah, that is the actual only habitat animal, or exhibit animal, I guess you'd say. And I love that you can turn off all of the barriers and make everything kind of null, so you can get it to really naturally kind of go into this area right here, right? So yeah, I got to use a lot of the flowers and flower grasses and all that kind of fun stuff there. So yeah, I love how this little insect flower garden turned out. And yeah, again, this whole area, this was just such a fun area, especially with all the rock formations and natural landscapes. Such a fun area to dive into and kind of get back into building for Planet Zoo and everything. So there is a big overview of that area, but let's go ahead and come back down to ground level, and we'll go to the next spot. So as we leave the bay, I tried to think about this as we were moving forward with the build. I was trying to think of how this would naturally kind of develop and everything. So as we come out of the bay area, start to get into a little bit of snow and a little bit colder as we go up a quote-unquote mountain and stuff like that. And as you can see on the right-hand side, we have some doll sheep. So have kind of like a doll sheep valley right through this way. I love that they're all over here too right now. But yeah, and also having a little bit of a bridge right here. Do like how this turned out. Yes, in the real world, they would definitely jump over that fence line, everything as we see they basically do right there. But you know what? We're going to call it, it's fine. It's fine. The game says they can't escape, so you know what? I'm going to say they can't escape either. Boom. But yeah, as we keep going forward through here, go underneath the doll sheep bridge there. And well, actually, there's two parts of the doll sheep habitat. We'll go to the right in just a minute there, but I want to show off the rest of the doll sheep habitat. But as we come up to the left here, again, using these same rock formations. All these rock formations were made out of maybe the 3 or 4 different rock formations, just kind of flipped on their sides, turned all over and everything like that. And yeah, this is kind of what you can achieve just by using very, very few big pieces in the game and everything. So, but yeah, here's the top side of the doll sheep habitat there. And again, loved using these mountains here to see them kind of go up there and strike their pose and all that kind of fun stuff. Can't help but think of, what is it, Madonna, strike the pose? Whenever I say it like that. But yeah, so there's the doll sheep habitat through there. And then, like I said, let's go ahead and we're going to go back down, backtrack a little bit here. But we're going to head off to the right-hand side. We kind of have this more castle kind of set up here. And yeah, as we go to the right-hand side, this is going to lead us into our children's kind of zoo, or children's play area, kind of focused on them a little bit. So we have this little peekaboo here, and oh, what's that? There we go. Yep, there's the big draw for this area, which is going to be a big ol' mountain facade. And so you get a little peekaboo there, then you get the big reveal as you come up the side here. We kind of move into more of like a Swiss sort of sub-theme within all of this. So yeah, but yeah, I loved building all this over here. And excuse me, the mountain, yeah, I based that off of some Swiss mountains. I think it was the Matterhorn I originally wanted to try and recreate. Ended up not really turning out like that, but I was like, hey, you know what? Still a mountain. But yeah, let's head on down here. And as we're kind of heading down, just again, landscaping everywhere, rock work everywhere. But thought it would obviously be a great idea to put in the mountain climbing rock climbing wall thing here. This is a blueprint off of the workshop as well. So yeah, I was like, hey, you know what? That fits in super well. We're going into a kind of a mountainous kind of area. So yeah, just kind of had, like I said, a lot of kind of like teenage or older kids kind of area in mind as we did this. Off to the right hand side, across from our chalet there, we have a kids play place, excuse me. Wanted to try and incorporate some sort of animals in this area. A lot of them are implied, so you'll start to see some birdhouses up in the trees. We have some birdhouses up back here amongst our tiny little homes and everything like that. So again, these are all implied, but they are just kind of wanted to imply that there would be like little animal habitats around here and stuff like that. So inside of our play place here, which I believe this was all made by Just Goron. I don't want to overlook that. All these play place items here, I didn't make any of them except for the houses and all that kind of fun stuff. But on the workshop, there's already so many amazing like playground sets and all that it's like, heck, may as well use those, right? So, but I did make this back here. Did all this kind of blacksmith shop. Thought that'd be really cool. Here in the States, we have a lot of these interactive kind of historical sets and everything, where you a lot of times have a blacksmith here on like the weekends, actually here like smithing and giving presentations and doing an educational show for everyone. And so yeah, no, this is just kind of a play on that, getting the kind of blacksmith shop over here. So there you go. There is the little playground area for the kids. So let's go back down this way. Speaking of habitats, did get one animal in here. Here's our second of 2 deer. These are the red deer at the base of our mountain here. And behind them we have a ropes course. Again, really cool blueprint item. Can't stress enough how amazing the workshop or the Steam Workshop and blueprints are. For those of you who don't know, because I've actually seen this come up a lot recently, the Steam Workshop blueprints, those are totally free. So a lot of people are confusing DLCs and updates and patches and the workshop, it seems like. So yeah, just so you know, if you go to on your Planet Zoo Steam, go to the workshop, you can subscribe to any of those on there for free. So, you know, the most that you can do if you'd like to is leave a thumbs up or a favorite on there, and and you'll see those on people's items and everything. But other than that, yeah, workshop items are uploaded by creators for you to subscribe to for free. So just always keep that in mind. So, but yeah, like I said, this ropes course, that's an amazing creation. I think that's by Lucas there. So yeah, we really wanted to include that, just some kind of cool extreme action type stuff, right? So, and then on the side here, just another kind of quick stop, quick service area for some guests to kind of make a little pit stop for food, drink, and all that. And then this little stand here, love this little thing. This is made by Haribo. And yeah, the Haribo and crew, they always do such a great job on these in scale, amazing little items here. So love that. I had to include that. But let's go ahead and we're going to go back up to the top side, leave the children's section of the zoo. And well, I get a little lost myself there. There we go. But we're going to go back over near the castle here, just outside the doll sheep habitat. And yeah, we're going to go to, I originally said it was going to be the last area. It's actually the second last area. We're going to go into our big old dark forest area. So yeah, I just wanted to, we had this last little section of the zoo. That's what I meant to say. This is the last section of the zoo that I built on. But yeah, we had this little last section here. So yeah, I just kind of went in and was like, you know, let's just do a dense forest. You kind of hear of those dense German forests and stuff like that. So that is the inspiration behind this. So we'll go right to left. And there's also a lot of terrain changes in here. I had a lot of fun with the terrain change back here. But we do have a few animals, none of which are in-game animals, unfortunately, but they're all implied. There are going to be some bird houses. Some bird, what do you call them, terrariums? Or probably not. But anyways, so yeah, the first one here, I believe, is called a bullfinch. So that I tried to look up, I asked, what was it, the AI, the ChatGPT. I asked ChatGPT, like, what would be some good animals or birds to use in here? Then I went looking for them basically on the workshop, and some people had made some of the ones they recommended. So here's some bullfinches. And then as we come back around this way, we're going to take a hard U-turn and go back through a little, this is supposed to be kind of a dry creek bed. Back here that you're kind of walking through. So you're on the lower section, and then up above you get, we'll go up there in just a minute, but you get these cool kind of terrain interactions between the bridges and this dried up creek bed and stuff like that. Next one up, we have the snowy owls, excuse me. Go. And a little bit further, one more here, down this way at least. This is the, oh gosh, I can't remember. It's another owl. Is it the eagle owl? I think it's the Eurasian eagle owl. If I just made up a new bird, someone let me know, because that's a pretty cool sounding bird. But if not, then that's what that is. But yeah, let's go ahead and take this trail up and around this way. And yeah, we're gonna have our big aviary right here. Aviary. That's what I was saying, terrarium earlier. I meant aviary. But anyways, they have our golden eagles. So a little bit bigger aviary for 2 golden eagles inside here. And yeah, the guests get a nice up close viewing area. Actually, you know, one thing, we were talking about improvements, I kind of stopped talking about that. Oh, we keep flying into trees because we are in the middle of a dense forest. But yeah, I probably would need a little bit of a, oh, never mind, I have it. I was going to say, need a fence here to keep the guests away and not get their fingers bit. But there you go, have it. Boom. But yeah, here's the golden eagles aviary. And then we'll just kind of fly through here because we did see those bridges earlier. Here are the, if we follow these trails, you'll start to see some of the bridges that overlap where we just were. So it's a very easy area to kind of get lost in. As you can see here, we're just kind of constantly flying through trees, and that was the entire point of it. I just wanted basically at all times of the day to have extremely to no light coming in. So yeah, really wanted that dense kind of jungle feel to it. And then actually this is where, like I said earlier, this is that 4-way cross area where we were, we took a right to go see the fallow deer and everything. So we'll come back out to this 4-way intersection. We're going to go back down. Terrain changes. Past the Skunks, underneath this bridge that we originally did. And now we're going to go ahead and look at our very last area, which, yeah, this is one of the first areas I built on when I first came back into Planet Zoo. And this is a big European farming area here. So yeah, had a bunch of fun with this. This gave up a lot of opportunity for my favorite type of building, which is like clutter building, just kind of throwing a lot of stuff into a build and seeing what sticks, which is usually a lot of it when you're doing a clutter build. So yeah, no, this is a big, huge area that is very inspired by the Eurasia pack that came out and a lot of the animals in that. So yeah, the first habitat that I built for after the initial kind of farm area, and we'll get back to looking at the details there in just a minute, but it was going to be the Wysent. So I went ahead and built a ginormous Wysent habitat here, but I did have the intention of putting a lot of them in here. I believe there's, let's see, there's at least 8, I believe, if not more. But yeah, here's the big habitat for them. And this is where I kind of first found out about the grasses as well. So you're going to see a bunch of different grasses. I hadn't quite figured out that buffalo grass was OP grass yet. So I was kind of like, oh, what about this one and this one and that one and this? But yeah, and then you started to see, I was like, oh, wait, this buffalo grass, that's that stuff right there. That's awesome. So yeah, there is the Wysent habitat. And you get really cool views of that all the way around. There's not a bad view of this habitat as you kind of come down here. Unless you're these guests and you stand literally right in front of the only dead tree that I put there. Good job, guys. 10 out of 10 would recommend spot. But let's head back to the beginning part here, because I did kind of do a flyover real quick. But yeah, you have all these little farm buildings. Took inspiration from just a random Google Maps search, I believe it was. I just like typed in Bavaria on Google Maps, and I just started kind of flying around different towns, and just kind of stumbled upon this little roadside farm with these great elevation changes amongst it. I was like, oh yeah, that's it, done, right there. And I had Google Maps to kind of fly around it and stuff like that too. So yeah, no, again, used a lot of different blueprints from the workshop, like these little planter boxes, this tractor. I use this tractor like 3 or 4 times in the zoo. It's awesome. But yeah, really like how this little area turned out. And then if we swing the camera right around, you actually get a view of what would be the first habitat in this little area, which is our warthogs. Right? Is that it, or are they called something different? Wild boar, excuse me, not warthogs, jeez. The wild boars, excuse me. But yeah, you get the wild boar habitat here. Really like this view as you get to see all the way down it and everything, and you get to see a little bit of the what we'll go into in just a minute, the cellar door entrance. So, but yeah, let's actually, speaking of that, we'll head down this way. And yeah, here's the actual entrance to the wild boar habitat. I wanted to do a root cellar. I don't know, it just kind of went hand in hand when I heard of, wild boar. I was like, oh yeah, they like roots. Let's do a root cellar. So yeah, this is a really old style root cellar with a bunch of different, this is basically a garden on top here. Just went nuts with the amount of plants and foliage and everything up there, but I think it worked out pretty nicely. So let's go ahead and head down. And we will enter in. This is like the only interior. Oh, that was a good view. Only interior I did basically for the entire zoo was this root cellar. And you know what? I think it turned out pretty spiffy. I have a love-hate relationship with interiors where if I decide to do an interior, it's like, okay, I'm going to do it though. Like, we're not going to, shortchange it or anything like that. The downside is that, yeah, it kind of takes a long time and it can be kind of like, oh gosh, building in tight spaces. But let's go ahead and for this one, we'll turn off the lights because there's some good lighting down this way. Yeah, there we go. So some things to point out. If you'll notice, the viewing windows, they're not just wide open. I wanted them to have little peekaboo holes all throughout them, so you kind of have to almost like peer in or kind of kneel or whatever it is. You just kind of have a little glimpse in there to give that theme or keep that theme kind of going. And then, yeah, as we come back over this way, on the right-hand side, we have a little prepping station for all of our veggies and stuff like that for our preppers, and then we have all of the storage, of course, for all the veggies and roots and all that kind of fun stuff. So we'll head back out of the cellar here, turn the lights back on, bright lights. There it is. And we'll go to that view that we were just above before, because we were down just a little bit right here. And yeah, I love this little nook. I said it in the original video of this, but yeah, this would be my favorite spot probably in the entire zoo. It's just to hang out right here, kind of underneath this big fern, these ferns over here, in the shade and everything. Yeah, that would be, this is the coziest corner, I think, of the zoo. So, but yeah, and then here's a flyover of the entire wild boar, I keep wanting to call them warthogs, wild boar habitat. Let's see, we have about, I think 4 of them, if not maybe 5 or 6, but yeah, we got our old decrepit outhouse back there, and I like how this one comes out. Again, with the new grasses and everything that we have in game, it's just kind of like cheat mode with all of those to make habitats look really, really nice, in my opinion. So, yeah, they're the wild boars. So, all right, let's head back over this way. Going by our white scent on the left-hand side. And we will go ahead and make a hard left here next to the weeping willow tree. And we're going to go ahead and look at... There's 3, 4, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's 3 habitats in this little area that we're about to go around here. So, kind of similar to the Bavarian forest kind of thing. I had a, excuse me, a big circle plot of land here. And I was originally just going to put 1 animal in here, but turned out that this plot of land was like triple the size I kind of thought it was going to be. So yeah, we had enough room for 3 animals with smaller habitat requirements. And the first of those is going to be the Arctic fox. And that was the other thing too. I didn't want to just put random animals in here. The most random animal hopefully so far was the North American beaver, but I did kind of do some research to see like what affects European farm or just farmers in general, and one of the animals that came up was the Arctic fox, and they don't need a large requirement area at all, so it turns out they're all sleeping right now, of course. But yeah, this is a Arctic fox habitat with a nice little stream that runs through. This is the continuous thing that runs throughout all 3 of the habitats here, is this stream that starts up here in the lynx habitat. But yeah, like I said, there's the Arctic fox habitat, and kind of gave it away here. But if we go up the hillside here a little bit on the right hand side, we have our first view into the Eurasian lynx habitat, and it's really cool when they come into here. It's a really tight, narrow area. They can get in there, but there's a blood pack or whatever you want to call it hidden in there, and it's really cool to see them kind of right up against the glass like that. But yeah, as we go forward this way a little bit more, we'll get more little views of them. There they are in there. There's 2 of them in here, so you get pretty good views of them. And then we'll go across this way. Here's what I meant by clutter. I love just doing little clutter pieces all over the place. More views of the white scent habitat. This goes back into more of a forested area. Everything else kind of reading for their research said that they like to hang out in the kind of forested to meadows or plains section, so kind of wanted to incorporate that. We'll go back this way, and here's your last big view of the Eurasian lynx. It's really fun to see them hang out in this little netting area, taking a nap and stuff. And then as we come down this way, we get a view of our last animal over here, or animals, which is going to be the red fox. See, we have a pack of red foxes hanging out over this way, and then we get through, like I said, this little stream that ends over this way and goes underneath the bridge. So yeah, I love doing that continuity between all the habitats of that stream, kind of connecting them all together. Yeah, we have 1 red fox out right now, maybe 2 over there, but there's a tunnel system for them as well, so they can all go burrow down and hide and sleep whenever they need to. Yeah, we'll go back down around this way. And yeah, this might look familiar. This is the kind of entrance area into the... There's our bullfinches over there. Here's the entrance area into the kind of German forest area. So we'll go over our stream right here. And you get some really good views of the fox habitat. And then across from it, this is another implied habitat, but this is for rabbits and something else. But I wanted to get kind of a halfway kind of petting zoo, a halfway little kind of hangout area and stuff like that. So yeah, our chickens, that's right, chicken coop, which actually in reality chickens are kind of evil. So enter at your own risk to feed the chickens and everything. So yeah, oh yeah, that's right. It's a little feeding section as well. I think just Goron or Haribo made this little quarter, self-feeder kind of thing. So yeah, as we turn around, have some little greenhouse areas back here. Lots of clutter. Just kind of filling out all the areas. And yeah, that kind of finishes up the farm area. I have a little quick service area, but we'll do one last fly through here so you can see all the fun clutter, and there you go. There you go, there's Clutter Central right there. Boom, found it. But yeah, as you exit the area, you can either exit the way that we came in, underneath the bridge, or you go down this little trail here, and that will eventually, we go down here, we're getting into the forest. That'll spit you out right here, which brings you back across the bridge to either the main town or into the forest, where you can do what you want to do there, and boom! That is it, my friends. That is the Europe Pack Mini Zoo. It's funny, yeah, someone commented, this is up for download if you'd like to, and someone already commented, they're like, wait, this is a mini zoo? And it's like, well, for me, it kind of is, but it was initially not supposed to be this big. It probably would have, originally, if I stuck with it in the beginning and we didn't have the Eurasia Pack and stuff, it probably would have cut off right where this bridge was. Yeah, I was getting ready to cut it off right about there. So in the last like month or two, I've added on this entire backside there. So yeah, it's kind of the tale of two builds, right? Here's the first build right here in this corner, and then the second build pretty much from where the farm, the Swiss area, the tree area, and the bay area. That's kind of the tale of two zoos there and everything. So, but yeah, here's your big outlook, big overview of the entire build there. So yeah, heck, man, this was fun. I really did enjoy this. This has been a great project to build through, kind of do a different kind of theme that I normally don't get to do a whole lot of, especially at the front part of the zoo with that Bavarian theme and everything. Had a bunch of fun and learned a lot as well with this rock section over here, the bay area. I'm kind of using a lot of those techniques in all of my builds now. So yeah, no, this is a great project to further myself as far as a builder goes, designer and everything, and kind of get just have a lot of fun with it, right? So, but yeah, so this was our sandbox project. Excuse me, I can talk. But yeah, now that it is done, kind of having to think of a new idea for a sandbox project, and starting to stumble upon something. And I think what we're gonna do, kind of stick with a theme kind of like this, but I think what we're going to do is a American colonial section zoo. So what I mean by that is I want to theme the zoo as if it was colonial times, so like 1700s basically. And I want to do the Americas. So basically have I'm thinking three sections of this zoo, which will be the northeast part of the United States, kind of the original area, well, not the original area to found, but kind of your New York, a bay area or a harbor town, and kind of just a northeast woods kind of thing. Then I want to transition it down south a little bit more, just kind of follow if you were looking at a map as far as the zoo goes, it would go from the northeast to the kind of southern area of the United States and kind of focus on the southern plantation area of the United States, which was a huge part of it. And then the last section of that project would be kind of a Florida Panhandle area, or Florida Caribbean type thing, because yeah, a lot of people don't know, but Florida is like basically the original area where the United States was founded. Was it St. Augustine? I think St. Augustine, town or city in Florida, was founded in like 1500 something, so like 150 years before Jamestown and all that kind of fun stuff. So anyways, yeah, that's kind of the idea, is just to have those three sections made into a zoo, kind of similar to the style of habitats that I did here, where they're kind of integrated seamlessly into like themed objects. So, you know, the theme over here is the castle, and then there happens to be timber wolves with it, or, you know, the lake or the river system that's going around, and there happens to be mute swans in it, or, you know, so that kind of thing, where it's not like your super duper realistic like zoo type build, but more of like a themed set piece kind of habitats and everything. So yeah, so that's my general idea. Hopefully I explained it well enough there, but that is what I'm going to start building on in the next little bit. If you do have any ideas for that kind of project, I would love to hear them down below. I think that idea kind of yields itself for a lot of different avenues to kind of go down and everything. But yeah, no, speaking of this, yeah, do let me know your thoughts of this project down below. Would love to know what you have to think about it. What was your favorite habitat in this project? And yeah, if you're going to check it out, again, don't forget those mods. Got to have the mods, or else, you know, the zoo will just crash, basically. So, but yeah, if you do download it and do some building or some hanging out, or take pictures in general, yeah, send them over to me. So, let me see them either on Twitter or Discord. All the links and stuff like that are down below for that kind of stuff. So awesome. Hey, thanks so much everyone for hanging out. I do appreciate you as always. And if you've made it this far in the video, don't forget to hit that like button and all that fun stuff. It does help out the video a heck ton there. So yeah, no, again, thanks for hanging out for this tour, and until the next sandbox project, y'all have a good one.